everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Coding for New Beginners in Python OSML. Now today we'll start off with our Python if-else statement, since we now just finished our dictionary and we have learned about all the data types, which include list, tuple, set, and dictionary. Now we will start off with Python condition and if statement. So Python supports the usual logical conditions from mathematics, like the equals, not equal, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. These conditions can be used in several ways, most commonly in if statement and loops. An if statement is written by using the if keyword in our keywords. So we have done something like this before. And it was one of our homeworks from a few classes ago, a lot of classes ago. Indentation. Python realizes on an indentation, white space at the beginning of a line, to define a scoop of code. Other programming languages often use curly brackets for this purpose. If statement without an indentation, it will raise an error. The elif keyword is Python's way of saying if the previous condition were not true, try this condition. The if-else statement is in between if and else. So let's say we have an if statement and an else statement, and now both conditions were not true. We would have an if-else statement as our last condition and see if that condition is true. In this example up here, it has a is equal to 33, b is also equal to 33. If b is greater than a, print b is greater than a. Elif, print b and a are equal. In this example, a is equal to b, so the first condition is not true, but the elif condition is true. So we would print this on the screen, a and b are equal. Now we have the else keyword that catches anything that wasn't caught by the preceding conditions. In this example, a is greater than b, so the first condition is not true. Also, the elif condition is not true. We would go to the else condition, so we can print on the screen that a is greater than b. You can have the else without an elif. Right here, we have 233 again, but this one is switched. If b is greater than a, print b is greater than a, else print b is not greater than a. Now the shorthand if. If you only have one statement to execute, you can put it on the same line as the if statement. If a is greater than b, print a is greater than b. But you would also always have to put the variable on top. You can't put the variable in the same line code. So we have the a variable and the b variable, and then you have to put one empty line, one empty row, and then put the if statement. The shorthand if else. If you only have one statement to execute, one for if and one for else, you can put them on the same line. A is equal to 2, b is equal to 330. If print a if a is greater than b, else print b. Now, as we all know, that b is greater than a, so it would print b. This technique is known as the ternary operators, or the conditional expressions. You can have multiple if statements on the same line. One line if-else statement with 3 conditions. The AND keyword is a logical operator and is used to combine conditional statements. Test if A is greater than B and C is greater than A. Or the OR keyword is a logical operator and is used to combine conditional statements. An example is test if A is greater than B or if A is greater than C. The NOT keyword is a logical operator and is used to reverse the result of the conditional statement. Test if A is not greater than B. Nested if. You can have an if statement inside an if statement. This is called the nested if statement. X equals to 41. If x is greater than 10, print above 10. If x is greater than 20, print also above 20. Else print not above 20. So Python has two primitive loop commands. So we're right now on while loops. So Python has two primitive loop commands that we're going to be learning about. Today we're learning about the while loops, and hopefully we can learn about the for loops if we have enough time. So the while loop. With the while loop, we can execute a set of statements as long as a condition is true. So we have used loops before in our data structures and many other chapters here in Python. So let's dig even deeper into the secrets on while loops. Let's start. We have print I as long as I is less than 6. Now we have I is equal to 1. So we're using the while loop. While I is less than 6, print I plus equal to 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 6 is greater than 5. So that means 6 would be greater, and we only want the numbers less than 1. Less than 6. Remember to increase I, or else the loop will continue forever. The while loop requires relevant variables to be ready. In this example, we need to define an indexing variable I, which is set to 1. To break this statement, we use the break statement. Not really a method with the break statement. We can stop the loop even if the while condition is true. The break statement can stop a loop even if the condition is true. The continue statement. The continue statement can stop the current iteration and continue it with the next. Continue to the next iteration if I is 3. The else statement. With the else statement, we can run a block of code of once when the condition is no longer true. We'll move on to for loops. And in Python for loops, a for loop is used for iteration over a sequence that is either a list, tuple, dictionary, set, or string. This is like the for keyword in other programming languages and works more like an iterator method as found in other object-oriented programming languages. With the for loop, we can execute a set of statements, once for each item in a list, tuple, set, etc. We have done that before in our dictionary, set, tuple, and list chapters. We have done this piece of code before for each one. The for loop does not require an indexing variable to set beforehand. Looping through a string. Even strings are iterable objects. They can contain a sequence of characters. And then that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Also, the homework tip for today is going to be what is the output of this code. And that's it for today. Also, if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and hit the notification bell so you can know when I post a new video. That's it for today. Bye-bye.